Don't you dare mess this up for our community. We finally are getting the acceptance and the love that we deserve from other communities. Black people have accepted us into their welcoming arms. We cannot mess this up. We have all faced years of trauma, hate, just disgusting words towards us. Now we are finally getting the recognition and love we so deserve. So we cannot stand down from this. We have got to keep pushing on, gingers. We have got to keep it going. We've got to keep spreading that love. We've got.
Hello guys, it's your guy Iyano Show KE. Welcome back to my channel here at Iyano Show KE. So guys, I just want to give a clap for the new subscribers, for the people that are following me. I could have not this far without you. So guys, there's this story about the gingers. And this reaction that the video that went on viral that we said that black woman said that now these gingers are now considered as black people. So gingers are this group of people that are living in the Europe are happy now that they are now considered as black people. I would say that in Europe they are considered a minority and they are considered due to the racism that is going on. But here we've seen that black people have considered these people as black, and now the group of people that have red beards and red hairs are now happy. And here are some of the reaction of these gingers are very happy about the Africans, including them in the group of welcoming them to the group of Africans. So don't go anywhere, just subscribe, like, comment and share.
Gingers! Don't you dare mess this up for our community. We finally are getting the acceptance and the love that we deserve from other communities. Black people have accepted us into their welcoming arms. We cannot mess this up. We have all faced years of trauma, hate, just disgusting words towards us. Now we are finally getting the recognition and love we so deserve. So we cannot stand down from this. We have got to keep pushing on, gingers. We have got to keep it going. We've got to keep spreading that love. We've got to keep embracing people. We have got to keep this momentum pushing. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity we are facing right now. Don't you dare, as a redhead, mess this up for our people. Okay, we have not faced years of the backlash and the hatred that we have faced for nothing. Okay, don't you dare mess this up for us.
So black people have accepted us as the white version of them. That's what I'm understanding from TikTok today. It's funny because back in the day, my friends always used to call me the white Jamaican, but my great-great-grandfather was Spanish Jamaican. So it kind of runs in my blood already, and I do obviously have the Irish, but obviously we just have so much culture. I get it. That's why. Thank you for recognizing us.
Something incredible has happened to redheads and gingers. I don't know if you know, but many people of the black community have came out and said that they see redheads and gingers aligned with many of the genetic features and the characteristics of black women. This has really brought up such an important issue because many of these gorgeous women are coming forward and saying that they can identify that something is off with the way that redheads are treated by many people in the white community. And this is something difficult thing to talk about because it's not racism. I don't know where that falls, but being born with red hair and super pale skin but not feeling accepted is a really, really tough spot to be in. You get bullied from a young age, you're made to believe it's horrible, people insult you without even meaning to. Some of the things that people have said to me because I have ginger hair growing up has been the most unhinged experience of my life. I once met a woman who came up to me and she said, "I like your ginger hair, but honestly my biggest fear when I was pregnant was that I was going to give birth to a ginger baby." And I didn't know what to say, and I just was like, okay. She's like, and I'm really sorry for saying this. She was like, but I actually think I would prefer a child with a disability than red hair. And that is genuinely, hand on heart, what someone has said to me. That is just honestly not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the type of comments that you're experiencing when you're growing up with red hair. So for people in the black community to come out and call out that something is not right in the way that people with red hair are treated, and to call out the fact that something is off, is the best thing that could happen.
Who would have thought
that universe had a plan all along. Us, gingers, went through hell growing up. But now, in the second week of May, we are delightfully praised. Who would have thought that growing up, being told to wipe our face off as if freckles were an insult and called ugly every day would get us a place in Black community's praises? Who would have thought that wanting to be unalived as young as 6 years old, 28 years later, would fill that traumatic memory with love and acceptance from Black folk? I keep crying here and there watching the outpouring waves of love from the Black internet. Now it makes sense why I always felt safer with you all. Because the white folk probably would have helped me to end any sign of parole that prison of life as gingers placed upon me. Now my 6 years old self finds healing in this uniting song. Who would have thought that the pain of a ginger will now be the healing song of Black folk? Deep empathy and understanding in you gives the opportunity of unity and love for us all. Thank you.
I'm not normally a girl that's gonna cry on the internet. I have spent the last hour reading comments that are healing me. Healing parts of me that I didn't know needed healed. Healing parts of me that I didn't even realize were still hurting. A group of people that have been so marginalized and hated and judged for no reason. A group of people that have dealt with stuff that I will never understand, never fully understand. Y'all are just coming together to love on me? You want to talk about Black girl magic? Look at my comments. Look at what you're doing for me. Growing up, having red hair and being so bullied, it's like I expected it. It was, well, I have red hair, so of course I'm going to be bullied. If I've got pasty white skin, of course I'm going to be bullied. But yet I would look at my Black friends and think, like, if anybody comes for them, for their hair or their skin, like, think again. Absolutely not. So it's crazy to me that I never realized that it wasn't okay for me either. You're fixing something that you never broke. You guys are fixing something that it wasn't your job to fix. I literally feel more confident now. I mean, not now, but I feel beautiful. I feel people saying, "Welcome home, fam," and I'm like, I have family. I'm never again gonna freaking buy self-tanner. I'm not gonna be ashamed of going to the beach. I'm not going to be scared of letting my natural skin color shine through. Like, you're changing my life in all of my freaking 38 years. Like, thank you. Somebody said to me, it's not a trend, it's a movement. And I feel that. I feel that deeply because this is bigger than just some TikTok trend. This is changing people's lives, and I'm one of the people that's been changed. Saying thank you feels so little. It feels so small for what you've done for me. But thank you. And you tell me when that cousin walk is, cause you know.
All right, so now gingers think that they're Black, and I'm not sure why this is going around social media. Maybe they just realized that the Irish bloodline has Black in it, and many other bloodlines have Black in it because we're all from the Black races. And we have no idea where white people came from. They don't really know how that happened. They say it's because of the Blacks moving into the colder regions, which doesn't make any sense because there's dark-skinned people in Alaska and Russia. Russians were dark-skinned, and the Japanese were dark-skinned, the Chinese were dark-skinned. So that doesn't make any sense. The point is, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. And I don't understand the obsession with gingers now saying, oh God, thank you, I'm Black. I'm so glad because it makes sense now. What makes sense? I mean, like, it doesn't matter what color your skin is, but you're clearly white. If you have white skin, that means you're white. If you have black skin, then you're black skinned. Help me understand. The gingers are most likely when the albino gene popped up, and suddenly you have, from very dark-skinned people, black-skinned people, you have red hair. That's the next stage that black goes into, from black to red to orange to yellow to white. That's the color wheel. So naturally, if you have an albino mating with a black person, you're going to have red hair, naturally. And they're going to possibly have white skin and maybe freckles. So, just spread all that out all over the world, and you've got all these different shades and colors and people who bring different things to the table because they're a different little combination, a different little goodie bag of DNA. And that's what makes life great, but this obsession with, I'm so glad that I'm not what I am because I hate what I am. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
This is perfect. First of all, I appreciate you, my boy. All love, for real. And second of all, I got a story just for this. So keep in mind, like, where I was raised and how I was raised and shit. Like, I was never told any different. Like, no one ever told me, hey, you white as hell. Like, until I was, 12 or some shit. Like, I was never, my family never treated me no differently. My peoples never treated me any differently whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Not even in the slightest bit. So, with that being said, I've always been, considered cultured. You know what I'm saying? And me being used to it, and this is normal, I never really, thought of it as anything different. I never thought about, oh, I like this way. This is how I should be. You feel what I mean? I should fit in this exact, model. All right, word. So I'm fucking with this shorty, right? I'm driving, and she on FaceTime with me, and she want to go over here and tell me why do you act like that? Why you listen to that music? Why you talk that way? She was like, you should act white.
This will get me canceled or not. So basically, the past 24 hours has been one of the most enlightening, healing, positive 24 hours of my life. The black community really took in us gingers and were like, we got you. And they gave us a big bear hug and said, you're going to heal things you didn't know you needed to heal. And I couldn't be more appreciative. From the bottom of my heart, everyone that left comments, I tried to reply to all of them. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world to me. Here's my thing. I study politics. I study racial disparity. I study, gender and social justice and what that looks like within law and government. That's my area of, knowledge. So, this is a two-way street. The black community has taken gingers, adopted us, and loved us unconditionally now. Now it's our turn to love back. And I think we are in a very unique... hold on. This is not unique. What is happening right now, the racial disparities, that's not unique. That's always been happening. Let me preface that. But we are in a unique position with this, black community, ginger community coalescence, this mixture, that we can now use that. We can use that collective, mobilize from that collective, and now it's our turn to get you. You know what I mean? You loved us, let me show you love. I got you. I support you. Ride or die type shit. You feel me? We got an opportunity here. And I know everyone's being evasive about the culture shit, but man, everything is political. Everything. I'm sure if the president had stubbed his pinky toe too hard and it was slightly off white, he'd deport it. So, we have a really unique opportunity right now with this media thing going on to mobilize that. And I wanted to kind of let everyone know that, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so appreciative and that I got you. And I actively try to, whether it's me doing my research thesis or my, doing my research on my grants, I promise I always try to include your lived experience. And if you have any other suggestions on how the ginger community can be of service, because you guys have done so much for us in the past few days, we are going to, create a safe space for that. Alright? Don't fuck with the fucking bullshit. You don't do the bullshit. Fuck the bullshit.
This is so weird, you guys. Apparently, I'm a part of the black community now. I will never say I am black, but I finally feel welcome into a community So, like, thank you. I just found out about this. It's the middle of the night, and I'm a little sick, so don't mind my voice. But hey, please text or anything. I really want to be friends with you guys. Thank you for inviting us into your community.
If, as a ginger, I'm black, I do have some questions. And feel free in the comments to let me know the answer. If, in fact, I'm black, does that mean I can come to the cookout, or do I have to host the cookout? By the way, I would never put raisins in potato salad. Ugh. And can I vote on who can't come to the cookout? If, in fact, I'm black. Like, do I have a vote in that? And do I have trading rights? And are there black people, if I'm black, that I don't have to claim? Kanye. Just curious. Candace Owens. Ugh. Anyway, still cisgender either way.
Okay, so for those of you who are seeing this gingers are black trend, you don't know what's going on, and especially for the haters, because God knows you motherfuckers are watching, and we know exactly who you are. The ones who are out here screaming, "Oh, if gingers aren't black, they're just using the..." Like, dude, listen. Let me break it down for you why this is going as viral as it is, and why y'all don't get it. All right? Clear, plain and simple. If you are a redhead, a real redhead, you likely got bullied your entire life for having red hair. If you're like me, you've been called fire crotch, carrot top, gingers have no soul, rather be dead than red. My own dad used to bust my balls with that one, right? Leprechaun, my mom called me that this morning. Do the carpets match the drapes? Like, all this stuff. Like, yeah, we've all heard it all. All right? If you're like me, that shit never came from the black kids. I don't think I've ever been made fun of for my hair and for being a redhead once in my entire life by somebody who was black. As a matter of fact, I was always friends with the black kids. They always welcomed me in with open arms and never gave me a problem. So to me, when this whole thing popped off, it was no surprise at all. Because first things first, as a redhead, we never felt like we fit in anywhere. The deal is, man, like, black people are super accepting. They're always loving. They're always fun. They always kind of include everybody. For all y'all who are showing us all the love out there, who are welcoming us in with open arms, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you very much. You know, for all the bullies out there who are still trying to talk shit, dude, it ain't working anymore. All right? Drop it. Enough's enough.
I didn't want to let this gingers are black thing go. I could not let it go without making a post about it. I have a couple of stories that are related to this. Growing up, obviously, red hair, freckles, you know, the whole thing. Also the name Mora, which in the United States of America at the time that I was growing up was somewhat unusual. I felt, you know, other as a redhead, and my siblings are not redheads, but anyway, I was the red. That's what my dad called me. And I think the one story I want to relate, a couple of them, they highlight my white privilege. Let's just put it that way. In some sense, they do that. We had young Scottish women from Scotland who came and lived with us as what we called maids. It's like an au pair. So there was an opportunity for these young women to come to the United States and have a job and have a place to live. And my mother not to go into the hospital with a nervous breakdown with the four of us. So I'm roughly 5 years old. And this one woman She just didn't like me. She was mean to me. You know, brushing my hair at night, the ritual at night, I was like, my hair, I was crying always. And of course, I don't know if you know this, but redheads have a higher sensitivity to pain. One New Year's Day, I remember I had to be about 5, I'm gonna guess. She came into the room and saw me, and she screamed at the top of her lungs and turned around on her heel and ran back out again. And I was like so stunned and frightened. I didn't know what had happened. And it turns out it's very bad luck to see a redhead first thing on New Year's Day. It bodes ill for the rest of the year. That's a Scottish superstition. Confirm this for me, please, you Scottish people, if this is true. But anyway, that was my experience. She screamed and ran from the room when she saw me. And I had to have, you know, she had to explain it to my father, and then I had to be placated. I was very upset. I was very sad. She was upset. She was, it's like, I've ruined her life. Wow. I was 5. Later, several years later, my parents divorced, and my father moved to Michigan, and the way we got to see him often was vacations that involved business trips for him. And one of those vacations was at a big hotel up in northern Michigan, the Grand Hotel, if you've ever heard of it. Back in the day, the tradition was that they had no, the wait staff was all black people. I guess it was kind of like, you know, let's like make America great again. Yeah, it was like hearkening back to when the servants were all black people. Now, I probably was about 9 at this point, maybe. That was not lost on me. I was starting to get some consciousness of things of that nature. But there was one waiter in particular who was very friendly and very outgoing, and he was nice, and he was nice to us, and he was really nice to me. And he made a comment one day that he put his arm up next to mine, and he said, "You got me in spots." And I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm gonna be all right. That acceptance from this total stranger meant a lot to me. You know, moving forward, of course, I grew up in the 60s with the music, and my favorite music was Memphis Soul and Motown and whatnot, you know, and all that entails. And I just, you know, I just knew that I wasn't going to get through this shit without crying. Hearing the stories, listen, I didn't go through some of the hell that a lot of redheads went through, and I certainly didn't go through anything like what a black person would have to live through. But it's touching, and that alliance of gingers and black people, I think, well, we could start to get somewhere with that shit. Maybe we will make some progress. Just saying.
You know I could not forget about the black gingers.
It's really funny that you say this because the first time it ever happened, I was in 8th grade and we were playing in a small town in Texas called Seagraves. And I was playing basketball and we got slaughtered by this team, and it's a predominantly black school. And after the game, these girls came up to me and like, hey, can we ask you something? I was like, yeah, sure, what's up? And they said, are you a half-breed? And I was completely taken away. I had no idea what they meant. And I was like, I'm sorry. And she said, well, are you black? And I said, not that I'm aware of, I'm sorry. She's like, no. She's like, you just look so black. And I was like, okay. And I was thrown off, and she's like, I'm so sorry, have a good day. And she left and we went on. But since that moment, I get asked all the time.
Well, hello, Gingers. How are y'all? The last couple of days have been kind of crazy with all of the comments I've been getting on one of the first posts I ever made on TikTok when I had baby locks. As you can see, they have grown out. We're working on year 3. But yes, I've been a ginger all my life. Can see it in my roots. I even got a little gray hair coming in the front. But we've made it. We're getting recognition. Yeah. This is wow. This is crazy. But hey, Gingers.